So I'm here to help you guys learn about securing funds from the public sector. Right now, we're working with a company called EcoPowers. Not sure if everybody's familiar with the DOE LPO program. It's the Department of Energy loan program. And right now, there's a lot of money available, and nobody's taking advantage of it. Literally nobody, because we had the DOE reach out to us and say, hey, with the Inflation Reduction Act, we have $8 billion sitting here for any innovative technology in oil and gas. Nobody has applied. Will you guys please apply for this money? $100 million minimums. So there's lots of money out there for anybody that can create an innovative solution to reduce emissions or help in the recovery process. If you're able to do that, you can secure public funding. It's a long process, usually takes 8 to 12 months, but the nice part is you have very low cost debt and you have a great partner. That capital can help you scale, help you do lots of things that I know everybody's here is very interested in getting money in the door. And so, first of all, you need to make sure that your business is eligible. Go to the DOE LPO website, which I can share with you guys after this presentation, and we'll figure out what do you need to do to make your business eligible for public funding. Once you get your company set up and eligible, we can go ahead and apply, work directly with DOE, and apply for some of these grants and loans. The loans are very cheap. The grants are awesome. Right now, I think the Inflation Reduction Act has about $200 billion set aside in total, $40 billion for our industry, and specifically $8 billion in the innovative sector for technology and oil and gas, which we all fall under for Bitcoin mining. That's the basic process. You apply, you have them help you with the application, you submit it, you're going to go under review. After review, any corrections you need, they're going to help you with that, and then we finalize the process. And that's really about it. It's that simple. A lot of people just don't understand what Title 17 is. Title 1703, Title 1706 are two great programs that will help probably everybody in this room if you know how to use them. So in a nutshell, that is how you secure public funding. Go straight to the source, network some of these people, and just ask, how do I do this? I'm new, I'm trying to get in to this field. This is what differentiates me. This is how I'm reducing emissions. This is how I'm helping the U.S. infrastructure. Grid resiliency is another big factor to get some of these grants and loans. But as long as you show your eligible criteria and you meet it, they will walk you through the application process, and there is billions of dollars set aside right now for nothing but innovation in this sector. And so, with 0 applicants, it's not a very competitive market right now. You probably have a good chance of winning your bid. So now is definitely time to look into government funding. And with that, I'm just going to open it up to questions because I want to know what you guys need to know and how I can help you. Does anybody out there have any questions on securing government funds or public funding in general?
Thank you. You mentioned that it was like an 8 to 12 month process and that there is eligibility criteria. What about the expectations from the government in what you're actually doing? Do they have access to own any of the technology you're developing, and what are you beholden to?
No, that's a great question. No, they should not have any ownership over your company, any control of what you do. Now, what you will have is the requirement to report how you use your funds. Obviously, if you ask the government for $80 million and you go spend it on private jet flights and stuff like that, not going to be happy. If you show that you're building out infrastructure, building technologies that are going to reduce emissions, the things that you submitted your application for, you're just showing that you are using the funds correctly. The funds won't all come in a bulk, some, they will come, you say, hey, I need 10,000 miners, for example, and it's going to cost me X. Okay, now you get a check for that, it's balanced, and you keep going. You show them what you need the money for, they provide it, and that's how the process typically works. Does that help? All right, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, really quick, is that a grant or a loan?
No, they have both. There are both grants and loans. I find that the loans typically are a little bit better, in my opinion, just because it's super low cost debt and you have a lot more freedom with it. The grants can be more restrictive. They typically are a little bit smaller, but it depends on your company. If you know, fit a grant and it's the size you need, that might be the right fit for you. If you're looking for large scale debt at low cost so you can scale your operations, you know, then you might want to go the debt route.
Okay, and to clarify, technology that reduces emissions includes green Bitcoin mining.
Yes. So if you have specific technology that you can, and they will work with you, you can talk directly with a representative at DOE, let them know what you're doing, and they'll give you feedback on whether or not it qualifies, and if it's close, maybe what you need to do to qualify. They're very helpful. The people that are in charge, there's new leadership. They really want to get this money out because it's set aside. And so just the fact that nobody's working with them, if you come to them and work earnestly with them, they will do everything to help you get the right grant or the right loan for your business.
So, Nick, the eligibility process, like what does that form look like? You know, if any of these people here at this event are trying to qualify and see if they can get government funding, what are the questions that are asked? What ringer do they have to go through?
So the forms can be a little bit long. I won't lie about that. But if you go to the Department of Energy's website and do /LPO, the loan program, right on there, Title 1703 and Title 1706 will be the sections you'll want to open up. You can review that with myself. If you pull me to the side, you can review it with your own team. There's a long form that will hit on all the questions, but the main two are going to be, can you help reduce emissions, and can you help in the recovery waste process? And that's really where like our EcoPowers project is succeeding, because we're able to do wastewater remediation, which reduces about 90% of wastewater caused by the natural gas. That wastewater costs a lot of money to truck out and move from remote locations in the Permian. So that qualified us on that level. The carbon sequestration on the other level of reducing emissions. That's how we were eligible for the grant. But we did that by finding, you know, a little market niche, something the market needed, which was water remediation. We had, for every barrel of gas coming out of the ground, maybe 7 to 10 barrels of water that was polluted. And we're now able to reduce that by 90%. Those trucking costs are huge. That was where we found our little market fit. Plus, you know, cheap electricity always helps, you know, under 3 cents a kilowatt hour. So, but yeah, it was really finding your niche, finding what the market needs, and then taking that to the government and saying, hey, here is our small scale version. We would like your funding to help scale this up in a way that can help all of us. And then the last criteria that I haven't really talked about is infrastructure. Anything that can help the United States infrastructure is also, there's about $200 billion under that program. And that would really be for miners focused on grid resiliency. If you're producing your own power and you make deals with ERCOT or any of the other grids to turn off your mining equipment in times of emergency to supply the grid and actually help sustain the grid, there's lots of money out there for stuff like that as well.
So Nick, have you looked at into any of the regional hubs, like green hydrogen hubs, and who would we contact to basically become Bitcoin mining partners of the regional hydrogen hubs that are in each region of the United States?
So I'm not as familiar, I won't lie, with the regional, you said the regional hydro
so
hubs?
like for example, like Detroit area, they're working with like, you know, the universities, the trucking companies, you know, and to create like the whole green hydrogen infrastructure funded by the DOE, but different like conglomerates or consortiums are competing with each other. So I'm wondering like which consortium is, you know, Bitcoin miner friendly basically to partner with. So I feel like that might be a interesting way to get a grant, is to partner with the local, you know, the airport to become part of their grant with the DOE rather than trying to go directly to DOE.
So if you wanted to go a route like that, I'm not as familiar, but off the top of my head, I would say, you know, partnering with a big data partner would be very helpful because you can pull the data of who's in charge of which operations you're looking to get to and get directly to them instead of wondering, oh, who do I talk to? Do I talk, and going through secretaries, all this type of stuff. If you're able to pull the data and explode out.
Right. No, I mean, like, I think like the local community is applying together. Like Detroit, the airport is partnering with trucking companies. Yeah, they're applying as one entity. So,
Okay.
and I'm wondering if any entity would want a Bitcoin miner as part of their group. Yeah.
Hey,
Anyways, yeah, I guess with something we'll research, I guess. Yeah, cool.
No, I definitely have to do a little bit more research on that. My focus has mainly been, I'm with Blockchain Global Capital. We're helping EcoPowers right now apply for the funding and get the funding they need. But we're more oil and gas focused. So on the hydro side, I'm not as familiar, and I don't want to give you any incorrect answers. But we can definitely get together after this and figure something out for you.
hey, Nick, I got a question for you
Yes, sir.
on behalf of my friend here as well.
Schmitty?
How can people reach you? What's a good, and are you for hire for helping people raise capital?
Always for hire. We definitely help a lot of people raise. Me and my partner, we've completed about 60 raises in the last, couple of years, 4 or 5 years. But main way to reach me is just come talk to me right now. Cell phone is always great, but cell phone number, if anyone's interested, 571-271-4597. Find me on LinkedIn. Name is Nick Harmon. Just connect with me. More than happy to help anybody here secure public funding, private funding, anything that we can do to help get Bitcoin mining to scale and off the ground. Very interested in it as long as you're in it for the right reasons.
Thank you.
All right.
That's it. Thank you, Nick Harmon.